viewers, welcome to the Inside of Zetu TV. Welcome to Education segment. I'm your host Spirit Chivindi, and today I'm at Tunga Secondary School. Welcome back from our short break, and now I'm joined with Mr. Biemba, a teacher of Tunga Secondary School. Today, sir, our topic of discussion is peer pressure. What is peer pressure? How can you avoid peer pressure? And what is a word of encouragement to pupils out there who are undergoing peer pressure?
Thank you. I'll start by separating the two words, which is peer and pressure. Peer simply means a friend. Pressure is influence. So when we combine them, they become peer pressure, which means doing what others are doing, okay? So that you are accepted in that particular group of friends and feel valued by those friends. Not only that, but you also do that so that you are not isolated
From your friends.
from that group. Yes.
Okay.
You don't want to be the odd one out. Otherwise, this pressure can either be positive or negative. But for today's interview, I think we'll dwell on the negative side of it. And so, peer pressure, how it affects learners in school, is firstly, it brings about that antisocial behavior in learners. What I mean by antisocial behavior is where a learner begins to shun groups that are eager to learn in school, but decide to do what? To join groups, either those that abuse drugs or even alcohol.
Okay.
And so, in that context, we will find that the performance of the learner begins to go down because they are shunning the aspect of interaction with the other, I may call them academicians, though they are still learning, okay? They don't want to be part of them, but would rather associate with the abusers of drugs.
Okay.
Furthermore, we can also talk about the issue of withdrawal from school activities. A learner who has been influenced by friends, especially if that influence has to do with the drug abuse, you will discover that they will be withdrawn. In other words, they will become inactive when it comes to schoolwork. They will stop studying,
Okay.
even at times stop going to school. So when you don't study, what does that mean? It simply means your performance does what? Goes down.
Goes down.
Last but not the least, talking about the negative effect, we can also look at just the behavior of the learner, okay? So you discover that some of them may have certain behavior which they perhaps in the past did not use to do what? To portray in class. For example, noise making, especially for one that abuses drugs like cocaine or those who smoke
Okay.
the so-called marijuana.
Marijuana.
They become too noisy in class. And some of them will become inactive in class.
Okay.
And you know, a noisy child, many of them don't do what? Don't perform well.
Okay.
Okay? They don't perform well because they spend most of the time doing what? Making noise, as opposed to concentrating and listening to what the teacher is teaching. So, in a nutshell, peer pressure is not good to a school-going child.
All right. All right, viewers. So you've heard. All right, viewers. You've heard what the sir is from saying. He says peer pressure is not a good thing on a school-going child. We'll now go for a short break, but please don't forget Don't forget to like us on our page, The Insight Zetu TV. So, kindly tell us one way of fighting peer pressure as a student or a pupil.
Okay, and so, first of all, there are a number of ways in which you can fight peer pressure.
Okay.
And will not do justice if we just talk about one to masses of pupils out there. So I'll start with getting busy. As a child or a school-going pupil, you need to make sure that you are ever busy. But what can keep you busy? Your books. When you are in school, whether the teacher is in class or not, your books should be always closer to you. Study what is in the books. Even at home, when you're at home, because actually the communities where we live, where our homes are found, sometimes can be a den of groups where peer pressure can come from. So it is also prudent that even there you get busy, befriend your books, study every time, especially times when you are free, so that in case there's a group of friends that has come and would want you to do bad things, they will have that opportunity to influence you because you are busy. Then also you can avoid situations, especially in awkward places like bars and nightclubs. As a pupil, those should be no-go areas for you, because when you are there, you may find a group of people that may just influence you to drink beer or even to do what? To smoke. So it is advisable that you avoid such situations that may make you fall prey to peer pressure. We can also talk about association. Here we mean associating with groups or bad companies. Okay, it could be those that smoke, it could be those that drink beer, and those that do many other bad vices. So as a school-going child, don't associate with such groups, because it will be very easy for you to be influenced. Yes, you may say, me, I'm strong. I will just be chatting with them while they are drinking. But it's like you are putting yourself to test, and you may not have strength to overcome what you meet on the way. So the best is don't associate with such groups. Last but not the least, you can also say no to influence from your friends, especially bad influence, since we are talking about the negative part of peer pressure. Because if you don't say no, for example, someone has offered you to drink moss, okay, and then you just say, just keep it. You are not giving a reason why, or you are not even saying, I don't want that. But it also means a lot, the manner in which you say no. You must be assertive. Show it that you really mean no, so that you prove to them not to be an easy goer, as they say. Not whereby the no sometimes may mean yes. That is really not good for you. It will not help you as a school-going child. Otherwise, my last words to all the pupils out there is that, like I've said, peer pressure is not good to them. So they need to make sure that always remember why they go to school or why they are in school. Obviously, to secure a better future for themselves. So their minds should always be focused on learning and not playing around with groups that may sway them into doing bad things, or where they put aside their education work and begin to search for places where they feel they may be made happy. Remember to suffer the present and do what? Enjoy the future. That is what is important. Yes, there could be places where you may find enjoyment, but those places may be a danger to you. There may be a den of groups that may influence you to do bad things. So, as we wind up, I can only say stay away from such places, be focused, and be yourselves. No one should change you. Thank you.
Alright viewers, we've heard what our son Mr. Biemba has said, and now let's hear what our friends have for us at Tunga Secondary School. Alright viewers, right now I'm joined with the pupils of Tunga Secondary School. Good afternoon guys.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, thank you. So today's topic of discussion is peer pressure. Guys, what is peer pressure in your own understanding?
Okay, to begin with, I'll begin by peer itself. It relates to friends, and therefore peer pressure is a situation where people tend to do what their friends are doing because for fear of being isolated. And in Zambia, it has brought a negative effect on this environment. For example, young people tend to abuse for fear of being isolated from their friends, and it is brought about when one feels isolated.
Okay. So my sister, I've heard what our brother is from saying.
Yes.
So can you kindly tell us the negative effects of peer pressure?
Okay, peer pressure has got a lot of effects. Like we as pupils, we are easily influenced by bad things. So when we come here at school, we find that we mingle with different kinds of people. Other people are bad. We find that they would want you to join their group whereby they drink beer, they do bad things. So they would want you to join them, of which it is not good to concerning our health. So that one can be the negative part of peer pressure.
Alright, so my brother, you've heard what our friends have said. What you say?
So now, peer pressure can be traced from the characteristic part of a person. It is an influencer friction which we tend to obtain from the society, which affects the character of a person in many ways. For example, if I'm found with the people maybe who are of a negative influence towards the society and the environment at large, I may say it will affect the person involved in those certain areas, maybe character-wise and education-wise. To talk of character-wise, we know that character is composed of the behavior of a person, the habit of a person, the environmental relations, and the parental care, of course. And the environmental part, we know to say these are the things we obtain from the society, like, for example, the people we are associated with. I'll try to copy his character, and I may find that I'll be stressed maybe with the things that I'll be doing, and that's what I think of peer pressure.
Okay, I like that. So my sister, you've heard what our brothers said. So for you, kindly tell us a word of advice to a fellow pupil out there.
Okay, concurring with what my fellow pupils have said, I would like to encourage or advise my fellow pupils out there that peer pressure is not a good thing to get engaged in. Concerning education part, and it's not good concerning the healthy part. Because you find that many people, they're engaged in certain things because of curiosity, maybe a friction. So certain things, they just come to damage our inner passion. And I would like to advise my fellow pupils to be confident with what they do so that they cannot engage themselves in certain things.
Alright, viewers, we've heard what our friends had to say about today's topic of discussion. Now you can follow us on our Facebook page, Zetu TV, like and comment. Now for me, it's bye.